Hello everyone, welcome back to the Last Minute Notes. In today's video, we are going to look into some key concepts and thinkers of post-colonial theory using a memory map in just under 5 minutes. So, have you ever wondered why some countries speak English even though English isn't their native language, or why some former colonies often struggle with questions of identity, culture, and power? That's exactly what post-colonial theory studies. Imagine a giant tree, and at the root of the tree is one word, that is colonialism. For centuries, powerful European nations like Britain, France, and Spain, they occupied and controlled other parts of the world. But post-colonial theory is not just about what happened during the colonial rule, but it is more about what happened after. The cultural, political, then psychological effects that remained. Now, let's grow our memory tree. The first major branch belongs to Edward Said. Everywhere or whenever you hear Edward Said, think about Orientalism. Imagine a Westerner wearing sunglasses and looking at the East through a distorted lens. According to Said, the West created a stereotypical image of the East. And the East was portrayed as mysterious, rather irrational, backward, exotic, and inferior. And this process is called Orientalism. From Orientalism, we comes to another important concept, that is othering. The colonizer says, suppose we are civilized, they are uncivilized. We are rational and they are irrational, creating this division between us, that is the West or the colonizer, and them, the East or the colonized, is called othering. So remember, Said, Orientalism, othering. All right, so that's branch number one. Now move on to the second branch, that is Homi K. Students often find Homi K. difficult, but let's make him simple. Imagine a colonial subject trying to imitate the colonizer. He dresses like the colonizer, he speaks like the colonizer, he acts like the colonizer, but he never becomes fully identical. And this is called mimicry, almost the same, but not quite same. And when two cultures mix together, we get hybridity. Think of it like mixing two colors of paint. You no longer have the original colors, right? You get something new, a hybrid identity. It is neither completely colonizer nor completely colonized. And because people exist between these two identities, they often experience a kind of uncertainty. That uncertainty is called ambivalence. That is, they neither completely accept nor completely reject the ideologies of the colonizer. So remember, Bhabha is equal to mimicry, hybridity, and ambivalence. Easy, very easy. Now let's move on to the third branch, and that is Gayatri Chakravorty Spivak. Just one word you need to associate with Spivak is that is subaltern. Imagine a society as a giant building, and some people live at the top, some live at the bottom. People at the very bottom whose voices are ignored and unheard are the subaltern. Spivak famously asked, can the subaltern speak? In other words, can marginalized people truly be heard in systems dominated by power? So remember, Spivak is associated with subaltern. Simple. Now let's move on to the final branch, and that is Frantz Fanon. Imagine colonialism entering not only a country but also a person's mind. What if colonialism tells people, no, your language is inferior, your culture is inferior, your traditions are inferior? And over time, some begin to believe it. That is exactly what Fanon studied. This was psychological damage caused by colonialism. But he also believed in resistance and liberation, and that is decolonization. So whenever you hear Fanon, think of colonial psychology and decolonization. So here we have the complete memory map. At the center, we have colonial theory. Branch 1 goes to Edward Said, Orientalism, Othering. Branch 2, Homi K. Mimicry, Hybridity, and Ambivalence. Branch 3, Spivak and Subaltern. Branch 4, Fanon, Colonial Psychology and Decolonization. And just like that, you have revised the important concepts of post-colonial theory. Save this memory map before your exam and remember, Sage studies representation, Bhabha studies identity, Spivak studies voice, and finally, Fanon studies the mind. So that's all about post-colonial theory. Subscribe to the last minute notes, the night before exam companion. See you in the next video. This is me, Arthur Thampi, signing off. Bye.